these districts are really infected. They've been infected with anthrax.
Dr. Makaya urged the public not to eat meat from unverified suppliers as they risk anthrax infection. Government has also implored farmers to be vigilant and report any suspected cases. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
We now connect you to our Montrose studios where Marilyn is on standby to give us more news. It's over to you, Marilyn.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Zane and Joyce. And now in our following report, the Environmental Management Agency has warned Hwange residents against moving around disused mining areas amid threats of underground fires in the coal mining town.
Decommissioned mining areas are a common phenomenon in the coal mining town of Hwange. For unknown reasons, there are many residents who still move around the dangerous territories where underground fires burn continuously and lives have been lost before. The Environmental Management Agency, EMA, told ZBC News this Tuesday that residents must not find reason to get into those cordoned-off areas.
The rains are delayed to come. There are still areas that are still very prone. What I would want to encourage people in areas like Hwange, where we have coal stockpiles, where we have coal seam fires, is for them to take precaution to avoid those areas where they know they are of high risk. We would also want to encourage the different stakeholders to continue creating awareness on the need of precaution until we fully get our rains. We really appreciate the efforts that have been made so far.
Both humans and animals have in the past fallen victim to underground fires in Hwange, with the latest case having been recorded in December 2021 when an 8-year-old girl died after falling in a burning tunnel. Mshomoli Ncube, ZBC News, Hwange.
The Mutora Nutritional Garden in Gokwe is changing lives for the previously marginalized communities in the region, with members now making a decent living out of the various projects at the site. Tafaraj Kumira was in Gokwe and filed the following report.
The nutritional garden concept, which is part of government's Agriculture 8.0 model, has seen the community practicing diversified projects on the piece of land they have. The garden specializes on fisheries and horticultural products as it has solarized bowls for continuous power supply.
Garden yatibatsira zvisingaiti. Tanga tichitengesa miriwo yedu zvakanaka tinowana mari.
Takatanga project yedu yefish. Takabatsirikana nenyaya yekuti takatengesa tikawana chikafu chevana.
Government says it will continue to ensure that people in previously marginalized communities get the necessary support in line with the Second Republic's inclusive development agenda.
Sunshine Community Garden is indeed an eye-opener in terms of the importance and the benefits of partnership. I urge all the stakeholders to contribute in the developmental trajectory set by the Second Republic.
Second Republic is on a massive development trajectory, with agriculture expected to lead in the people's turnaround of fortunes as the country targets to attain an upper middle income society status by 2030. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gokwe.
2 people from Glendale, Mazoe district have succumbed to cholera, with 49 cases being recorded in the area, which has been flagged as a hotspot for the epidemic.
Government has adopted a raft of measures to mitigate the spread of cholera, which has hit parts of Mashonaland Central, particularly Glendale in Mazoe district. Mashonaland Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, said civil protection committees have been activated.
We are working flat out as government to make sure that we stop the spread of cholera in Mashonaland Central Province. You may be aware that it's not only Mazoe district which is experiencing cholera outbreak. We also have Shamva, but in Shamva it has been contained, and in Mount Darwin it has also been contained, though we had 1 death.
Public gatherings and vending have since been banned in Glendale, while a quarantine center has been set up for patients at Tsunguvi Polyclinic.
Behind me, you can see there's the quarantine area. Kwatiri kuhauza vanhu vanenge vaitwa screened vaonekwa kuti vane need yokuti vange vachichengetwa pano, and also musha tanga tiri kuita ma-general cleanup.
Residents are also playing their part to ensure the disease is contained.
Together nepatinogona kuzama kudzivirira korera.
Vehealth vakatombofambawo nepolisi vachitikurudzira kuti tisatengese zvinhu mumarodzi zvakafanana nemafrutsu kana mimwe misika yedu inenge isina kuchengetedzeka.
Izvo zvinobva unochera mvura kune mugodhi yanenge ndaonawo kuti yakachengetedzekawo.
Nano area where people informally settled themselves is the worst affected area in Glendale, as it has substandard ablution facilities and water wells. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mazoe.
And that report takes us back to Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Zain is on standby. Zain, it's back to you.
Thank you to the team in Montrose. We bring it back to the capital, where we continue with the news. Zimbabwe stands to benefit a lot from the Green Bond Facility if all parties play a role in tapping into global funding towards climate mitigation.
Green bonds, or alternatively climate bonds, are used to finance or refinance projects that contribute positively to environmental preservation. The popularity of green bonds has been rising considerably, driven primarily by investors embracing socially responsible investing.
The Global Green Bond Initiative, through its partnership, seeks to enhance access to capital for emerging markets in developing countries by offering technical support to green bond issuers. Additionally, it aims to provide private investors through a dedicated de-risked fund functioning as an anchor investor in green bonds issuance in emerging markets and developing economies.
Zimbabwe's recent engagements at COP28 in December last year saw the private sector being challenged to be more robust in supporting climate mitigation initiatives.
In the Zimbabwean context, I think it's time for the private sector to be a bit more aggressive in engaging with local, regional, and international financial partners. Climate finance was one of the key thematic areas that were being focused on at COP28 because we can make all of these pledges to decarbonize trade and value chains and reduce global warming, but initiatives for adaptation and mitigation need finance.
The global green bond issuance comes largely through the private sector in Africa, and it is administered through the Africa Development Bank.